What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Thursday. It is July 25th. We are back with another video for you guys. Apologies I didn't have a video yesterday. Again, newborn stage, very tired. I slept in because I did not sleep at night. So there just wasn't a video yesterday. We still had all the content on the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, but just wasn't a video. But we are having a video here. We have 8 games today. We have an early slate that has 6 of the 8 games, which is kind of wild to see on a Thursday, but we're bringing you that content. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Grab a seat, hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel. We do things a little bit differently. We break down every single game. We look at the games, we look at the pitchers, we look at the batters as well. On top of that, we are going to use Outlier.Bet, our sponsor for this video, to see the breakdown, what you guys could see if you sign up for it. You could see the breakdown of the games, you could see the bets, you could see everything there. So we are going to check that out as well. Again, if you're new to the channel, we have giveaways. 2 giveaways every video that I remember. The previous video, I did forget the keyword. I'm so tired. Absolutely forgot the keyword. But we are back now. We're going to have a giveaway here because, what was that, Monday's video? Or was that Tuesday's video? Tuesday's video got 90 likes. So we almost hit 100 likes there as well. So here's how to win. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment on the video. 50 likes on a video gets a chance at a free week of FTA+. That is every single sport that we have to offer. Currently, right now, MLB. We've got PGA today. If you're depending on when you watch this, Thursday PGA starts pretty early. We've got MMA on the weekends. We got NASCAR as well. On top of that, if this video or any video gets 100 likes or more, you have a chance at a free month. 150 likes, a free $200 year. 200 or more likes on a video, a free $500 lifetime pass. All you got to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment while also liking the video. So super easy, super simple, and super free. The second way, when I remember and when I'm not too tired, I will say a keyword somewhere in this video. Listen for that keyword, type that keyword in, have a chance at a free week on top of it. You could win both times. We've never had the same person win the same day, but we've had multiple people win back to back. So we're going to have that giveaway first. We had 38 comments, 700 views on that video, 90 likes, 1 dislike. I know who you are. I don't, but it's probably a competitor. But we are going to randomize it. We're going to use comment picker, and we're going to hit start. Now, this is it right here. This is the winner of the free week. Debonair 3838. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Like this video and then email me letting me know you have seen that you are the winner, and we are going to give you that pass as well. So congratulations everyone else who's won in the past. Come back the next day, and the next day and check it out. On top of this, we are going to have these videos, and I'm going to start NFL content. I would like you guys to let me know what you guys would like to see in that NFL content, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the top 25 ranks at each position. Obviously, quarterback's a little bit harder because there's not a ton of quarterbacks, obviously, with the amount of teams that there are, but we're going to break it down. And what's awesome is we're very excited. We're less than 2 months away, and each week of the season, we're going to have videos doing the rankings just like we're going to do overall. We're going to have DFS rankings. On top of that, we're going to break down the games, kind of like what we do here. We have a matchup tool. We're going to break that matchup tool down. Obviously, to start the season, the first couple of weeks, the stats are going to be skewed a little bit, but we can only really go off of different season stats as well. So that's on the horizon. We're very excited about that. Let's get going. Let's break down each and every game. Towards the end of this video, we're going to give you the pitches be crazy. So we're going to give you the top 5 pitchers on the slate that have the best matchups for pitching. And then at the end of the video, we're going to give you all the players that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating after we've done simulations. We've kind of combined the 10,000 into 20,000 simulations. So we're only going to have simulations once a day, probably going to be run in the background. They will be refreshed and updated. So we're starting to automate a little bit of that stuff. So if you've been interested in that, definitely stick around. We're going to have simulations there. We're going to update them on a feed as well. So it will be part of FTA Plus. You can go check that out, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So, looking at this, let's dig in. First game, Padres at the Nats. So looking at weather, we should be good for this early slate. We've got Dylan Cease coming in against Washington, 3.76 ERA on the road. We see he's already faced them once this year, 7 innings, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Fully expect that again. I love this matchup for him. I'm in on Dylan Cease. I really don't like the Washington bats, but we will look at the Washington bats. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to use Outlier.Bet. So, Outlier.Bet, fantastic. You can check it out. Once they have all these other markets, we've got MLB. WNBA is, when it's not the All-Star break, will be there. College football, NFL, college basketball, NHL, NBA, NFL, everything. They've got it there. What they do is they aggregate a ton of websites. So we absolutely love Outlier.Bet. They are the sponsor of the video, the articles, exclusive sponsors. So what I'm going to do, the link to sign up with them is down below. If you click on that link, you get a 7-day free trial. After that 7 days, if you decide you want to go with a month, they have a $30 option. You can go with that monthly package. Using our link and signing up, if you use that, take a screenshot. Let me know that you used it, and we're going to give you a free month of FTA Plus. On top of that, if you guys sign up using the link, and they have a pro version, which gives you the EV Plus and boost and stuff like that, they are going to give you, it's a $130 package. You get that for a month. So 7 days, technically 5 weeks for that. We're going to give you 3 months of FTA Plus on top of that as well. So check that out. Any questions? Down below in the description is the link to everything. So if this video is a little bit too long for you and you want to see a condensed version in an article form, the link to today's article is down below, along with our Discord link as well. Clicking on the ads help out the channel. We've got merch down here that helps out the channel. Going to the website, clicking on the ads on the website helps as well. So we are going to dig in. We're going to look at these games here. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the bats. So you see Patrick Corbin, 2024 stats, 2-9 record. He earned runs per game. He gave up 5.35 on the year, 3.86 to San Diego last time. 7 innings pitched in that game. Strikeouts 6 there. Walks per hits. He actually had a decent game. So you can dig into that decent game, and you can see splits, 7 innings in that game, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 16.8 fantasy points. He actually did pretty well against them. He would be a cheap option here on a 6-game early slate that I don't love it, but I mean, they've had success in the past here. But if you want to look at like the flip side, Dylan Cease, no earned runs in that game there, 11 strikeouts in that game, walks per innings hit, 0.43 in that game. So he's seen them. He knows what to expect. Does have a 9-8 record for them, 3.76 ERA or 3.76 earned runs per 9. So it's a little up there. But again, those are great numbers. He's had success. If you want to take San Diego bats, and we see the San Diego bats here. You guys might not be able to see it. Okay, there we go. So you can dig in. You can see the batters that have had success against Patrick Corbin in their career. Xander Bogaerts is back. Does have a home run against him, 3 RBIs. Ha-Seong Kim's batting 357 against Patrick Corbin with a home run as well. You've got Kyle Higashioka. No home runs, batting 286 against him. He normally hits lefties well. You can see those. Then we dig into just the entire San Diego Padres as a team who hit against lefties. So you can dig in. You can look. Overall, Donovan Solano, if he gets in there, batting 303 with 2 home runs. Jackson Merrill only batting 196, 4 home runs. David Peralta, 7 at-bats, so it's not much. If he is in there, that's a 429 batting average. But the main Padre bat that I would look at if I am taking a stack here, I'm looking at Jurickson Profar. In 106 at-bats against left-handed pitching, batting 340 with 6 bombs and 21 strikeouts. Or 21 RBIs. These are the games. Also, OPS is what I want to look at as well. I did have a question in the Discord yesterday. What is the minimum OPS you're looking for? I would say the exact bare minimum is 750, but you're really wanting that 850 plus. You got to get a little creative, but you've got Jurickson Profar, 973 OPS. David Peralta 1.12, but again, 7 at-bats, that's skewed. Donovan Solano 826. Manny Machado 751. Does have 4 bombs against lefties. Like, these are the bats you're looking for. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't think Higashioka is going to be in there. Sometimes maybe he is a sneaky option for San Diego. Then Washington bats against Cease. No home runs. One person, Harold Ramirez, is 4 for 8, and that is it. Right-handed pitching, if the bats against right-handed pitching, Yepes, if Juan Yepes is in there, 378. James Wood, 250 with a home run. You got Jesse Winker with 10 home runs, batting 269. Luis Garcia, 287 with 11 home runs. You've got CJ Abrams, 250 with 12 home runs. Those would be the bats that I would look at if I were looking at Washington as a stack. Personally, I'm not really going that way. I would go Dylan Cease in this game. Next game, Corbin Burnes versus Rodeo Munoz. So, on paper, it's Corbin Burnes versus Marlins. Let's go with that. But, he's the most expensive, $9,500. Splits-wise, he has not faced them this year. Game logs, good game against Texas. Not a couple of down games here against the Cubs and Seattle Mariners. Munoz, on the other hand, we want to look at both of these, right? We want both sides of this ball. I want to give you the unbiased opinions. I want to see what we could do to help you. So 5.14 ERA is up there. Has not faced Baltimore this year. Game logs, he's had a couple of stinkers. Had a decent game against the Mets. Baltimore against right-handed pitching. This is where this website comes into detail. We can look at the money lines. We can look at the runs. We can look at the over-unders. But we dig into the games themselves. That is why I love Outlier. Munoz, 1-5, 5.14 runs per game. So, yes, he's allowing earned runs per 9. That is up there. So, that's their ERA. So, looking at this, hasn't faced Baltimore this year. Then we got Corbin Burnes, 238 runs per 9, 124 innings pitched, 8.37 strikeouts per 9. So, he's averaging 8 strikeouts a game here, or per 9 runs there. So that's not too bad. So we dig in. Miami. Or let's just go Baltimore bats against Munoz. None of them faced him before. But then we dig in. McCann's only batting 227. I mean, you've got these ones. Yes, if you're going with bats here, Gunnar Henderson obviously makes sense. He's very expensive. Batting 304 with 22 bombs. You got Ryan O'Hearn, 282 batting average with 12 home runs. Ryan Hearn and Cedric Mullins are on the trade block for the Orioles. They are open to trading them. So again, the trade deadline is next week. I think it's a week from today. Think about that, because with a week from today, anything could happen. You got to know the names that might get traded, because those guys could be late scratches and not be in the lineups. So be very cautious about those. Those are the 2 that I know of that are on the trade block for it. So, other ones you could look at, Jordan Westberg, 288 batting average with 11 bombs. Cedric Mullins, 239, again on the trade block, 10 home runs. Santander is another one with 21 home runs. Those would be the bats that I would use if I were to stack the Orioles there. Now, on the flip side of that, Miami bats against Corbin Burnes. No one's really had success. And you see the batters that hit lefty or righties well. Like Jake Berger has 10 home runs, batting 245. You've got Jesus Sanchez, 273 batting average, 11 home runs. You got Nick Gordon, 239 with 7 home runs. Brian De La Cruz has 13 home runs, only batting 222. Otto Lopez, if you want to fade Corbin Burnes, that's on you. Otto Lopez could be a cheap option here. 270 batting average, 3 home runs. Jazz is also one, but his name has been floated about being traded a lot too. You've got him with 11 bombs as well. So those would be the bats that I would look at. You always got to get Jake Berger in there. You got to get the Berger man in there. Wouldn't be surprised if he hits a home run there. But in this situation, I'm leaning more towards Burnes. But if you want to do Munoz here for tournaments, because everyone will be on the Orioles, I get that as well. Kind of like if you want to fade Burnes and you want to go stack Miami, I don't mind that. He's had some slip-ups, but he is a stud when he is out there as well. Next game, Tigers at the Guardians. We'll see who they think it's going to be. So they think it's going to be Kenta Maeda. I thought he was... Oh, he moved to the bullpen. Wait a minute. Yeah. He moved to the bullpen, has a 7 ERA. I don't So he's stretched out. They don't know if it's going to be him. This should be his time in the rotation, but him having moved and pitching 3 days ago or 4 days ago, I don't trust that to be correct. I would still look at I would still be looking at the Guardians bats here. I'm not even concerned about that whatsoever. Cleveland bats, obviously here. You guys know the drill. I mean, David Fry batting 288 with 8 bombs is one. Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Stephen Kwan. Those are the 4 that if you are stacking Cleveland, you got to go start with them. Then if you want to throw in maybe an Angel Martinez batting 262, or maybe you want to go with depending, you could look at an Andres Jimenez who's had a down year this year, batting 246 on the year. Not a ton there, but if it is Maeda, I am stacking the Guardians. But we don't 100% know yet, so those would be my main guys. Once it's announced who the pitcher for the Tigers is, we will update the simulations, we'll update the player projections, the cheat sheet, we'll update it all for you. We just don't know who it's going to be. Then on the flip side is Gavin Williams. He's already faced them once this year. Like, he's not my favorite, but Detroit does strike out. With the teams that are playing today, Detroit strikes out the third most out of the teams that are playing. Not third most in MLB, but again, we have a very limited amount of games to look at. Splits-wise, 5.1 innings, 4 hits allowed, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Not too bad, especially at 19 fantasy points. And that was still this month. He was 8,500. They have now dropped him down for whatever reason. I don't mind Gavin Williams for tournaments. I'm scared about that because I do think Detroit could hit. And if you were to look at like Detroit bats against Williams, no one's got a home run, no one's got an RBI. Okay, so they haven't had any like huge success. And you see them against right-handed pitching, like Gio Urshela batting 284, Riley Green batting 288. Winfield Perez batting 262. Those would be the 3 I'd look at. Also, you could look at Colt Keith, who has 10 home runs against them. I don't know if I'm going to go in that direction. I think, personally, I'm probably looking at Cleveland Guardians bats, and I'm looking at Gavin Williams for tournaments, or pitches be crazy is kind of what I would look at here. I don't trust Detroit enough. Mark Canha's name is thrown out there in the trade rumors as well. You're going to see a lot of rumors in the next 7 days. That is definitely for sure. It's going to get exciting next week. But then when it comes to next Thursday, we're going to get a little bit weary because we're going to put in lineups there. And then we're going to have people inevitably be traded and we might get screwed over a little bit. Next game. White Sox at the Rangers. You got Jonathan Cannon versus Max Scherzer. Mad Max here. Jonathan Cannon down here at 6,000. 4.58 ERA. He's not faced Texas this year. Game logs, really hasn't done anything. He's gone 6 innings and is back-to-back-to-back starts, but the fantasy points have not been there for him. Kind of what you're looking for, 2.5 to 3 times value is what you're looking for. So basically a starter on DraftKings needs to get you 20-plus fantasy points to take down a GPP or a tournament. On FanDuel, you're looking at 40-plus fantasy points, really 35 to 40 plus fantasy points. I remember. Does anyone remember? Question of the day. Does anyone remember here when baseball on FanDuel, you would get negative points when your batter struck out, and to take down a tournament, you would see like 24 to 30. Like the max tournament score I think I ever saw was like 36 back then, because they like 4 times the points for pitching, and it was like 20. I think it was like 24, like been like 10 years, like 2014, 2015, they just revamped baseball completely because no one wanted to see a GPP going down of 25 fantasy points. It was crazy. They put some multipliers in. There's a question of the day. Have you guys played long enough that you remember that's what they did on FanDuel? I would not use Jonathan Cannon. Max Scherzer, on the other hand, 8,600 is kind of crazy to see him at this price. Did get lit up by Baltimore. That was Saturday. Again, I didn't play anything that weekend. I had a kid who was 2 days old. He is now 7 days old. And I'm tired. I'm very tired. But minus 6.3 there. He really hasn't hit value in a long time. I mean, you're looking for at least 20 fantasy points out of him. He's only hit that once, and that was when he came back against Kansas City. Hasn't gone into deep into games the past couple of games. Does have a good matchup here against the White Sox. That's what scares me a little bit, because against the Angels, 6.2 innings, 6 strikeouts, 16.2. He was 9,300. They've dropped him down, and he does have a cushy matchup here against the White Sox. But again, he's old. He's up there in age. I don't know. He did get arm fatigue, and that's why he went 2 innings. Arm issues seem to have subsided since then, and the Rangers are comfortable sending a 39-year-old veteran out there without giving any extra rest to recover. That scares me a little bit, especially at his price. Tournament's okay because it is the White Sox, but again, arm fatigue, age, and they're not doing anything about it. Scares me a little bit. But we look at this. We're going to persevere, and we're going to continue to look at this game. We're going to take a little gander at the White Sox and the Rangers. So let's, for instance, say Max Scherzer has a bad game, goes 5 innings, if he can go there. What bats are we looking at? The White Sox are a bad team. They do not hit very well overall. You got Tommy Pham batting .271 with 3 home runs. You got Paul DeJong, .237 with 14 bombs. Okay. Eloy Jimenez, 5 home runs there. Benintendi has 7 home runs, but only batting .225. Luis Robert batting .220 with 10 home runs. Like, these are the bats that I would look at. I don't love those bats. Andrew Vaughn would be another one with 8 bombs and .220. If you think Scherzer's going to leave and then this bullpen, or you think he's going to get hit hard, a White Sox stack could be sneaky today. It really just depends. And if you want to see the ballpark factors and the projected home runs on the web, go to it'll be down below in our Discord. You can find that information. So I don't know if I want to pay up for Scherzer. That's the problem. His price is there. His arm problems might be a problem. Then we look at, so Jonathan Cannon's never faced the Rangers before, but obviously Corey Seager batting .275 with 14 bombs. We got to look at him. Jonah Heim with 6 bombs, .245. Don't mind him. Not a ton of great, huge options. You got Nate Lowe batting .256 with 6 bombs. I don't mind him. Maybe Wyatt Langford, .241, 2 home runs there. If you want to go very cheap tournament option, you could go Jonathan Cannon, because I don't think very many people are going to be on them. 6,000 allows you to go a lot of directions here, especially if you went like Jonathan Cannon and Gavin Williams for like a tournament. You can average 4,500 the rest of the way, get a little bit crazy there. So I do give, obviously the edge goes to the Rangers bats. I don't trust Scherzer enough. Probably not going to use him. I could have a vintage game, vintage Scherzer. I do not trust him enough. Cannon for tournaments, I'm okay with, don't love. Next game is the Rays at the Blue Jays. So that's the early slate. Early slate, well, no, we've got the... oh, no, it is only one slate. And then there's 2 games. Okay, so there's like the 6 games early here. So we've got next game, Tampa Bay at Toronto. We've got Taj Bradley, who just had a great game against the Yankees. Yeah, okay, I was going to say so. 7 innings in that game, 28 fantasy points. So back-to-back really good starts. That have a little bit of sinker at Texas, but had a good start against Washington, good start against Seattle as well. Splits-wise, he has not faced Toronto this year. Looking on splits home and the road, when he's on the road, he's got a 4.61 ERA, so it is up there in 3 less starts. That does scare me just a little bit, but we're still going to look at this and see what we can have in this situation. So, Chris Bassett is obviously on the other side going against him. Has already faced Tampa Bay twice this year. Chris Bassett has not had success against them. So we look at him, game logs. A couple of 3 stinkers in a row. Splits-wise, faced him twice this year. 8 runs, 7 of them earned, 11 strikeouts, but 5 walks. 5.91 ERA against Tampa Bay. Probably, but then you look like his splits. Home games 4.14, so he's worse at home for whatever reason. I think people are going to be on Bassett because Tampa Bay's been bad. I think I want to look at Tampa Bay bats here. Tampa Bay bats against Bassett. You got Brandon Lau, 2 home runs, batting .333. Curtis Mead would be a very cheap option, batting 6.67 with a home run. You've got Randy Arozarena, whose name is in the trade rumors. 429 batting average, 1 home run there. And then Richie Palacios, 250 batting average, 1 home run as well. And Jose Siri, but a 200 batting average batter with 1 home run. I don't know about that. I am fading Bassett. I am all over Taj Bradley here. And I'm all over Tampa Bay as a stack. I don't want Toronto bats. I do not want Chris Bassett whatsoever. Then we've got Logan Webb versus Clayton Kershaw. Webb, so they obviously see a ton of each other because they're in the same division. Webb, Kershaw coming off the IL for the first time this year. Let's put it that way. And he's 8,400. And he's above Logan Webb, which is wild to me. Dodgers have looked kind of meek so far. Webb, though, 2 starts that have been bad. 1 after the All-Star break again. And we mentioned this before. It's very hard, the time back from the All-Star break when they didn't pitch in a real game messes with people. And he had to go into Coors. Didn't really do much. Dodgers-wise, he's already faced them 3 times this year. 7 earned runs, 16 Ks, 8 walks. 3.78 ERA, only averaging 15 fantasy points, so less than 2 times value what you're looking for. I don't know if I want to pay up for him there. Kershaw's the one that scares me. Obviously making his season debut. 2 rehab starts. There will be some sort of pitch count on him. I don't know what it will be. I don't know how deep he'll go into the game. I don't think it makes sense to even consider him in this one. We can still look. We can look at the games here. San Francisco bats against Kershaw. Seeing them a lot. You've got Thairo Estrada with a home run. You've got Wilmer Flores with a home run. You've got Tyler Fitzgerald with a home run and Mike Yastrzemski with a home run as well. But let's dig in and see which bats for San Francisco hit lefties well in 2024. You've got Jorge Soler actually surprises me. He's only got a 241 batting average with 3 home runs. Matt Chapman makes a lot of sense. 296 batting average, 4 home runs out of him. Lamont Wade Jr., 421 batting average with 0 home runs. Michael Conforto, 271 with 3 home runs. Elliot Ramos, 407 with 6 bombs. I know how good Kershaw is. Pitch count, injury. I kind of like San Francisco stack here. And then Logan Webb, Dodgers bats against them this year, or in the career. Chris Taylor has a home run, and Freddie Freeman has a home run, 412 batting average. If I were to stack against Logan Webb, which I think I kind of like to do here, Freddie Freeman's my top one. Ohtani obviously is number 2, batting 324 against right-handed pitching. But then you got to find more, and there's not a ton outside of there. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez has 12 bombs, batting 261. I'm okay if I stack with him. Gavin Lux batting 235 with 5 bombs. I don't mind him. Kike Hernandez, 3 home runs, but only batting 189 there. So, and then Will Smith, 249 batting average, 9 home runs, 40 RBIs. I would look at these stacks. I would take out Kike Hernandez and put Will Smith, obviously. I'm probably fading pitching in this one and just looking at the bats here. That's where I would go in this game. Then we've got the 2 night games, later games. For whatever reason, this is a really weird day, the way they made these games. We've got the Braves at the Mets. You got Chris Sale versus Luis Severino. Did they get postponed on Wednesday? Or am I just crazy? Yeah. Reds and Braves got postponed. Went back-to-back games. So then Chris Sale. So this is the problem. Chris Sale was supposed to pitch 2 days ago. Okay? 2 days ago is when he was supposed to pitch. So we've got him in there who he has not pitched since before the All-Star break. Okay? He has not pitched in 11 days, and his price is $10,200. But he has a great matchup against the Mets in Citi Field. You look at his splits. He's not faced them this year. Pitching on the road, 268 ERA and 24.4 fantasy points. Fantastic numbers there. But we can dig in using Outlier.Bet and check it out. And the keyword of the day is energy, because I need it. I'm drinking coffee in the mornings. I've got some weird Red Bull that someone left in a cooler when we went to the lake. It's like elderberry and something else that I've never heard. Not even elderberry. It's a berry I've never heard of. Very excited to try it. Hopefully it tastes good. But that is the question, or that's where we're at in life. So I know it gets better, and obviously it's a gift, blah, 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 blah. But I'm tired. But we will look at this. So we look at Sevy. Sevy's been really good this year, too. So if you look at what he's done so far, very surprising. Splits, has already faced Atlanta once this year. Only 4 strikeouts in that game, but only gave up 2 earned runs, 5 innings. Would love to see him go deeper into games, and this is a pitcher's park, so we always love to see a decent pitcher in a pitcher's park. And Atlanta, they're known to strike out this year. They're missing, obviously, their big bat in Acuna. Ozzie Albies also being out. You see some of these guys maybe that, you're not used to. But the players that have had success against Severino, Marcell Ozuna with 1 home run. You've got Jared Kelenic with 1 home run as well. But then we dig in the batters that hit righties well this year. Ozuna batting .288, decent numbers. Hits better lefties, but decent there. You could look at Travis d'Arnaud. I don't know if he's going to be in there again. This is a Thursday. Thursdays are usually the days, like Sundays, where catchers rest for whatever reason, like a day and night game. So we'll definitely see there. So the batters I would use against Sevy, if I were to go Atlanta bats, Ozuna, Murphy, or d'Arnaud, depending on which catcher is in there. I don't mind them. Austin Riley's got 10 home runs with .274 batting average. Kelenic, .249 with 10 home runs. And then you could look at like a cheap Eddie Rosario with 9 home runs, but he's only batting .184. Or you could go with possibly a Orlando Arcia with 7 home runs and a .236 batting average. And if for whatever reason you want to completely... so this is not updated. This still shows Charlie Morton, but I believe it's because it moved over to Chris Sale. I'm personally not using Mets bats here. If you were to use Mets bats, Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Harrison Bader, Mark Vientos, maybe Jose Iglesias, those might be the guys that I would look at if you want to get crazy and stack against Chris Sale, which I am not doing. Then the final game, you got Ross Stripling versus Kenny Rosenberg. Boy, talk about a barn burner here. Ross Stripling, game logs, 3.2 innings, nothing, boom. LA bats, he has not faced them this year. Pitching at home, 5.90 ERA in 6 starts. That's not ideal. And then Rosenberg, 6.30 ERA, 4 innings against Oakland. He just faced them Saturday. 10 fantasy points at 6,100, not enough. I am fading this game for pitching and looking at bats here. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now, digging in. Oakland bats against Rosenberg. Shea Langoliers makes sense. Kyle McCann makes sense. Brent Rooker obviously makes a lot of sense. Andujar batting 300 if he's in there. I don't mind him. I don't trust him, but I don't mind him. Lawrence Butler, Daz Cameron. I don't mind them as a stack either. Then the Angels here. Angels against a right-handed pitcher. Logan O'Hoppe makes a lot of sense. I kind of like an Angel stack here. O'Hoppe, Nolan Schanuel. I heard the name. I think that's how you pronounce it. He just got... I only heard it because the announcers when he got kicked out of a game with a low strike. Mickey Moniak, I don't mind. Willie Calhoun batting .262 with 4 home runs. I don't mind. Zach Neto only batting .225, but 11 home runs as well there. So I'm fading those pitchers there. This early slate here, or this night slate, it's the top 2 pitching options, and that's it. I don't trust anybody else. And there you have it. It's your Thursday slate. All of the games, all of the pitchers, all of the bats that we like. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website. The top pitchers for Pitches Be Crazy. Don't love this. I'm not playing this today because these aren't even the best. Overall, these are the best matchups for pitching with the games and the players that are actually playing today, but that really doesn't mean anything. But number 1 is Chris Bassett versus Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay ranks 24th out of 30 teams for the year. Max Scherzer number 2, but if he's got arm problems, that scares me a little bit. Gavin Williams versus Detroit. Clayton Kershaw versus San Francisco. Pitch count as well. And Corbin Burns versus Miami. Now, If I were to go other places, obviously Chris Sale makes a lot of sense. He's a high strikeout guy. He is in there. He would probably be at the top of my list for pitchers that are going today. So this is just a early copy of Pitches Be Crazy. Not the best representation because the games are not the best today. And then all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating today. Let's go. Shohei Ohtani, number 1 versus Logan Webb. 2 is Jurickson Profar. Jurickson Profar, probably one of my favorite batters on the slate. Along with Gunnar Henderson, number 3. Number 4 is Jorge Soler. 5 is Marcell Ozuna. 6, Ryan O'Hearn. 7, Isaac Paredes. 8, Adley Rutschman. 9, Jose Ramirez. 10, Elliot Ramos. 11, Josh Naylor. 12, Kyle Higashioka. 13, Anthony Santander. 14, Wilmer Flores. 15, Colton Cowser. 16, Tyro Estrada. 17, Austin Riley. 18, Brandon Drury, to round out all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating currently. Once we run the simulations throughout the day, we will see if these update and change for you. So questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. If you want to check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, go check it out. We've got MLB content. Obviously, you're watching the video. We've got PGA content, depending on when you watch this video or not. Most of the time, these videos go out the night before, so you have time to check out the PGA content, because most of the time they lock and the tournaments start about 6 a.m. unless they're overseas. Then they start like 1 a.m. like the Scottish Open, I think, a couple weeks back. So definitely check out that content. Then we've got NASCAR, and we have MMA as well. So we're very excited for NFL. I'm gonna be working, I think, until about mid-August, and then I'm gonna have 8 weeks off for paternity, and we're very excited for what NFL is gonna bring to you. So if you got any questions, if you want to see certain things in NFL content, be on the lookout, because I'm gonna have a video, question and answer type video here. And yeah, so that's what I've got. Check out all the content, all of the links in the description. Buy some merch, help out the channel, help out the new baby that just arrived. Good luck today, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.